good, YouTube? It's your girl Z Babe with another video, and in today's video is gonna be another story time video. I have not gave you guys a story time video in a long time, and this story time is gonna be about a girl's trip gone wild that I will never do ever again in life. Never, ever do in life. Unfortunately, in today's world, girls' trips are just not safe for any woman. I don't care what age you are, it's just not safe. So let's go and get right into the video. So, I went on this girls' trip in 2010. I believe it was in the summertime. So, around this time, I was young, dumb, and naive. But however, my best friend assured me that, the girls' trip was going to be amazing. And she told me all these wonderful things. And I had never been to Miami before. So I was just like, all right, if my best friend rocking with it, I'm rocking with it. Okay, so I want to make a note about this trip. Before I even knew about the trip at the time, round trip for my airline ticket was around, I believe, $350 or maybe $200 at the time, and then you had to pay additional costs for the trip, which was the hotel fee. So I think I paid like $250 for like my round trip, and then I paid another $200 for the hotel because the girl that was throwing the trip, she had booked the hotel. So she wanted everyone to have their money in and have the deadline in so she could make her money back. And that was not an issue for me at the time. So, my restaurant tells me, hey girl, do you have your money for the trip? And I was like, sure, because I wanted to go to Miami, Florida. I wanted to enjoy the beach. I had never been to Florida before. So I wanted to go ahead and do it. So I did it, right? And I was 23 at the time. All right. So I think about it, that was something that I should have never did. I'm going to tell you why I should have never went on this girls trip. For one, I did not know when the check-in and the check-out for the hotel was going to end until I got to the trip. Number two was the girls that I went on the trip with, I did not know. My friend, she knew about the girls, but I didn't know about them. So I'm trusting her character, which I will never do again. And sometimes when you're young, is there something on my camera? Is that's the light? Okay. Anyway, sometimes when you're young, you do irrational things. You don't think everything through. You just think, oh, I'm going to do this. So I decided to go on the trip. Now, I remember this not being a good moment in my life at the time. For one, my hair was not done when I went on the trip. I don't know if I can go through Facebook and show y'all what. I also wanted to say another thing that I do not like about girls trips is that people do not be having their own money, or they try to be cheap and they don't want to spend their money. Also, it's just not a good idea to go on a girls trip with people because people have hidden agendas. That's what I wanted to say. But I hope you guys are enjoying the video. What I was looking like, but it just wasn't right. I wasn't looking right. Two, I didn't pack properly on what I was supposed to have on a girls trip. I kind of packed really quickly and didn't really think about what I was going to wear on the trip. So, I remember the trip being for like a weekend, and then like checkout was going to be on Monday. I had requested off from my job, and I was like, I need these 3 days off so I can enjoy my trip, in Miami. Okay, let me get through the story. So, I get to the airport. I meet my best friend. We are on the airplane. As we're on the airplane, it only takes 30 minutes to get to Miami, which was kind of weird because I recently went to Orlando and it took 2 hours. So I think Miami is a little closer. Anyway, when we arrive to Miami, it is super late. When I say super late, it is super late. I think it was like around 1 o'clock in the morning. There was nobody on the street. At the time, I believe we had to take a cab. Lyft wasn't even available. This is how old this was. It was straight up cab service, okay? And if Lyft, I think it wasn't Lyft that was available. I think Uber had just came out because I think I was working for Uber too. Uber had came out. There was no Lyft. So um, when we got to the airport, we wanted to take a cab, but cab service was scarce. Okay. And I think we did take an Uber, but it was like not as advanced as how it was. There wasn't that many drivers, so we had to wait a while to get into our Uber to get to the destination. After we got to the destination at the hotel, I will say this. The hotel that we went to was very nice. It was a great pick. That's the only good thing that I remember. That the hotel was a great pick. It was awesome. However, day one of the trip, we kind of had to like share this room, which I wasn't really upset because it was, my best friend and I think one other girl. I don't remember detail who else was there. But, when you go on these trips with women out of town, for some reason, women tend to lose their mind. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're not around their man and they can get buck wild. But in my opinion, I don't really like when people start getting buck wild because I feel like, why weren't you showing me this wild side when you was around your man? So that is my personal opinion on girl trips. Anyway, let me move along with the story. So we get to the hotel, we unpack our things. I remember my drunk self, I had a fifth of liquor inside of my suitcase because I knew what time it was when I got on that plane. Now, this was a long time ago before they had all these restrictions, okay? Now the airlines, if you try to bring a bottle, you pretty much ain't getting on the plane. But I was able to sneak me, I think, a fifth of liquor at the time, and I think it was like some rum or something. So, when we got to the hotel, I unwind, took a little shower, got me something to drink, and got myself together because we were supposed to go out. So I remember this clear as day. We got to the hotel. I unpacked my things, took a shower, tried to do my hair the best way that I could because my weave was in way too long and it needed to come out. But I think I had like a little ponytail. I had like curled it or whatever the case was. Child, I don't do that anymore. Once it's time to come out, it's time to come out. Anyway, we get all glammed up and we get dressed up. My best friend, she get dressed up. I was wearing this black dress and I think I had some terrible shoes at the time. Back in the day, it just wasn't going my way far as outfits, especially in Miami, and I'm from the DMV. Outfits in Miami is like butt naked. So anybody, when you put on more clothes, people look at you weird because all those women don't have clothing. So, we all get dressed to go to the club. It's me, um, my best friend, and we're all walking together. Now, I finally get to meet up with the girls and I say hello to them because I don't like being rude. But we all get dressed and we're walking. So, this is the first day that I really remember that I had faced colorism the first day. And at the time, colorism wasn't a term back then, 2010. That was kind of like on the hush hush. Like if you had colorism going on with you, people were like, what is she talking about? Like she's delusional. But I remember it clear as day. I was with my best friend and all of the girls were there. And I think I was like the darkest one there. And I had walked past and I had on my black dress and, was just trying to make myself feel good. And it was time for us to, go out and everything. And when we went out to like, I think it was like some little club, I had people looking at me like I was like the worst thing, and I wasn't really feeling the energy because like all of us were walking in a pack and people were just looking at me like really seeing like who the heck is that black chick? So it made me feel really uncomfortable. But I had got so lit that I didn't really care. So I don't think that I like stayed and like clubbed with them because I remember feeling uncomfortable because people were giving me dirty looks. But I will say this, the girls that went, they did defend me, but I felt so hurt that I wanted to go back to the hotel room. I think that's what happened for me on that first night. So, I go back to the hotel room because I want to get lit. I don't got time for people to look at me dirty looks in the street. That's not what I want, because I'm dark skinned. So, I had people looking at me crazy. It is what it is. People colorist as heck. That's their business. I love my melanin. I'm in. So, um, moving right along. So I go back to the hotel and get lit. I tell my friend what's going on. And I think she proceeded and was like, well, I'm not staying with them because I don't really rock with them like that. And I was loving her for that moment. So we had just went to a couple of bars and got drunk, had a couple of drinks. I remember us going to Wet Willie's, which was one of the highlights of my life. Haven't gone again since then. Want to go again. But we went to Wet Willie's and they had like these nice, beautiful, tasty drinks. Y'all, the drinks was litty. Okay. They had like the little freezies and everything. Like I had plenty of liquor. I think at the time I had to call a cab. Y'all, you couldn't tell me about no call a cab. Child, call a cab for real. But like our hotel was like walking distance. So it was like, yes, we are in the right spot. When I do these stories, I gotta have me something to drink. But yeah, we were in the right spot at the right time. So me and my friend, we getting lit. We forget about what they're doing because it was just too much going on. Plus, we were super young, and the girls that we rocked with, they were a little older than us. So it was just like we don't want to hang out with these old hags. Let them do them, and we're gonna do us. That's what I remember. The girl that threw the event, she was a little older. Like she was in her late 20s, and me and her were like in our early 20s. So that's what it was. So, we went and got our drinks. That's what I remember. I remember being the hungry drunk out of the whole entire thing that night. I remember going to Subway, getting me a little veggie sub. I had vegetables all over my sandwich. This is when I was really falling in love with the vegetable subs at Subway. And I had got like pickles, olives, cheese, everything. Because when I get to Subway, ooh, I might give me a sandwich tomorrow. I do my thing. Do you understand? I get down with the get down. So, I made my little sub, was litty. First day. First day was all right. Even though I was getting, looked down at, but it is what it is. People are racist all over the globe, even on this channel. But me personally, when people like to give me negativity, sometimes I give it right back. And I know this is not part of the story, but on one of my YouTube shorts, someone told me that my brain cells are dying and my brain needs to be scanned 3 times. And because I misspelled the word brain, they felt like they needed to go back and forth with me. But I don't care because the way I am, a comment is a comment and people are going to say what they want to say and do what they want to do. And I'm going to do what I want to do because I'm going to do what I'm going to do anytime I got the time to speak or say when it's on my time. And I don't know if that rhymed together properly, but I do what I have to do for me. And nobody's going to get me to the point where I'm cursing. No, too old for that. Anyway, let's not get off subject. So, I get my Subway sandwich. I get my bottle of water because, I love me a little bit of fake Dasani water. It just does something when I'm lit. I don't know. It makes me feel tingly inside. So, got my sandwich. I remember my friend, she ordered her sandwich. And we went back to the room and we had a good time. Day 2 is when we really started to just not diss, but like take ourselves away from the group because we really didn't know these girls. And I do want to make a side note for anybody that's thinking about a girls trip. Ladies, let's start waking up to these girls trips when women are inviting. Don't be super head over heels because somebody's asking to go to a girls trip, especially a paid girls trip, because people love to save their coin. Okay, people like to save their coin. So when someone tells you that they already paid, just know that they're trying to recoup their money back. So the way they're going to recoup their money back is that they're going to increase the energy and time that they put for the hotel. So say the hotel is 700. They're going to tell you they paid 1200 so they can get a profit. I mean, it's smart, but at the end of the day, we got to start being smarter. Let's book our own hotel. Let's have cash on hand and credit card. So if we want to leave, we're not held, bonded, and strapped in to a ticking time bomb, because it's really not that serious. So, day two, I remember going on the beach, enjoying myself with a nice, what is that drink back in the day that was popping? I think I used to get a screwdriver because I thought I was sophisticated. I'm getting a call. Hold on, guys. So I'm trying to remember what part I was on, but I do remember I was talking about day two and how day two really showed me that you need to be prepared if you want to leave, if you do go on these girls' trips. I forgot what I was saying because I was on the phone. However, day two was really showing me that me and my best friend were literally divided from the group. And we were used, probably not by a whole bunch of money, but we were used for the head count for the tickets and the hotel. That's why I said you need to have your money in hand when it's time to get the F. You need to book your own hotel. You need to not trust folks, because at the time, I think the hottest airline, and they still have it, not hottest airline, but hottest airline service was Expedia. I don't think I'm saying it right. Expedia, whatever. So, it's where you have booked your hotel and then you book a bunch of tickets or whatever, and then you pay like a huge lump sum. So like you pay everything in full. So it was one of those type of things. So day two, we really seen the division of our group. Me, it was just basically me and my best friend, and then her friends, they did what they did in the day, and we did what we did in the day. So I think I was talking about, me getting ready to drink one of those nice screwdrivers. Thought I was real sophisticated, y'all, with my vodka and orange juice, okay? And I had me a little Bahama Mama because I remember being on the beach, enjoying myself. That's what I was doing. Because me personally, and I'm drinking me a nice cup now. When I want to have a good time, I like to relax and I like to sip a little bit. I know it might be a little issue for some folks, but that's what I do. So I remember drinking my screwdriver on the beach. I think I had maybe like a 2-piece bikini on at the time. Body was looking good, okay? I'm going to try to go through Facebook and look through my pictures and try to see if I can put it through this video. If I can't, I can't. But anyway, the point of the matter is that at the time, I had my bikini. My friend had her bikini. We was looking good. We wasn't worrying about nobody but us, okay? We was doing us. So when the girls decided to divide, it was just like, okay, so y'all brought us down here so we could basically pay for y'all fee. Y'all don't want to get to know us. So we did our own thing. Things started getting crazy on the third day when it was time to leave. That's when I realized that I will never go on a girls' trip with anybody ever again. So this is what happened, because this is the worst trip in my opinion. Not the whole thing, because I did enjoy myself and nobody did any fighting, because we ain't got time for that. We ain't got time to be messing up no hotel, and we don't got time to be, doing banging activities and trashing hotel rooms and causing a ruckus, whatever it's called. I'm getting old with that word, but we just don't have time to, do those type of activities. We just was trying to drink, get lit. Oh, the thing about the trip was, before I even tell the end, on day two, me and my friend was having an amazing time, because I do want to do some highlights here. So, we had a great time. And then after that, we found some nice looking guys. We found some what is it called, ganja, you know what I'm talking about. Spliffs were available, so we could, do those type of activities, and just put one in the air and relax. So I do remember smoking a little bit of, trees. But we did have some drinks, those were available. So, and I think the guy had got a free drinks somewhere. I remember going to Victoria's Secret. I purchased some items. I got me some nice things. At the time, my ex had gave me like $400 for the trip, because he told me he wanted to make sure I came back in one piece and all of this stuff. But I do thank him for that, even though we're not together no more, because I really didn't have much at the time. I didn't have a whole rack of money. I think I had like $200 extra that I had to spend, because I knew I didn't want to go down there, spending all my money. And at the time, 2010, $200 could get you a lot. These days, $200 can barely get you anything. But the point that I'm saying is, did I just spit on my camera? Whoa, yo, hey, we can't be like spitting on camera. At that time, things were affordable. So that's what I'm trying to say. So, after we had fun, and these things where, we are smoking spliffs and all of that was happening outside, because when you go to South Beach, there's a lot of people outside. Everybody knows when you go to South Beach, it's a lot going on. Somebody over there on a motorcycle, somebody over there throwing their top off, somebody over there throwing a party, well, maybe doing the party, because there was some people doing that. But some people's going to the bar. Oh, and there's another place that I remember going to, and I don't know if they're still in business, but I did remember going to the place Cavaliers. It's basically not the worst, but the best idea in my opinion, because that was the only place where we got to get drinks to go. And our drinks came in a huge cup that had like a lid, like a soup lid that you get from the carryout, and you could just put it in and drink. So I do remember getting drunk to oblivion each night. But the third day, when it was time to leave, this is what made the trip terrible. Let me explain. So, the girls that we came with told us that we had a certain time to get to the airport. That's why I say I would never go on a girls' trip again. Nah, ain't happening. We did not make it on time for that flight. I'm not going to blame it, because my friend could probably see this one day. But I will say this. When you go on a girls trip, you got to make sure you got shit, okay? And I made sure that I had my money. So my friend decided that we should go to the liquor store before we get on the flight. Worst mistake. Ladies, please, if you got somebody that's adamant on staying in a state where they do not have a residency, run like hell. So we end up going to the liquor store. We end up going to Wet Willie's. And guess what? Missed the flight. The girls that went with us got on their flight on time and went back to Washington, D.C. And I was really upset, because when I got to the airport, Not only did I miss my flight, but guess what? My ATM card was marked as fraud, and I had SunTrust Bank saying that transactions were on hold because they believe the car was fraud and the hold will be released in 24 hours. You do not know how upset and angry I was. Now, I think the hold had something to do with my purchase at Victoria's Secret because I don't normally purchase in Victoria's Secret in Miami, Florida, but I was young and stupid. So when I had called SunTrust and asked them, I was like, what's going on with my card? And they were like, oh, Miss Lewis, we see that you purchased something at Victoria's Secret. I'm like, yeah, okay. And they were like, well, we didn't believe that was you. So we are going to hold all any transaction you try to make is going to come up decline. And you have to wait till the morning time. Y'all, I was pissed because not only did I miss my flight, I had to pay for another round, not another round trip, but a one-way ticket. So, I'm mad at my friend. I'm telling her that, like, we could have avoided this if we didn't go to the liquor store. She's yelling at me. We yelling at each other. We're upset, disgruntled. Story gets terrible. So, at the time, we had a late flight. We were supposed to be on our flight at 5. Since we missed our flight, they had no more airplanes that were going to go into DC. So we had to wait until 7 o'clock in the morning. Hotel checked out. That's why I say, and I don't care what nobody say. If I was me then, I would have booked me another hotel close to the airport and got on my flight the next day. But however, it didn't work out like that. We ended up sleeping inside of the airport. And let me tell you, from experience, ain't no joke. I'm blessed to have a home to live in every single day. It ain't no joke sleeping outside, sleeping in the airport, sleeping on the bus, sleeping on the train. It is the most worst, uncomfortable feeling you can think about. And the worst thing about sleeping in the airport is that the seats are highly uncomfortable with no cushion. And the one in Miami didn't have cushion. Now, I'm from the DMV, we have cushion on ours, but they had no cushion. So therefore I had to sleep on a steel bench top. How exciting. So, it was a bittersweet moment for me at that time. I missed out on money, and thank God my ex had gave me $200. But at the end of the day, it's just like, this is what we do when we sign up for going on a girls trip. Now, I do want to say this. Even though I wasted my money and did all the crazy stuff, I will say this. For my girls trip, there was no fighting. There was no fighting. Nobody fought. But I say that was the worst trip of my life is because it was the sleeping in the airport for me. It was the colorism looking at me like I'm the worst thing since sliced bread. I don't like that. So that's why I call it the worst. Anyway, hope you guys like this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Your girl is super exhausted, but I told myself this year I have to be more consistent. So I will see you guys in the next video. Please comment down below, and bye.